My wife has been cheating for weeks, sending him money, planning secret meetings. She thought she was fooling me. It all started with a conversation I wasn't supposed to hear. One evening, my wife was on the phone with her friend, laughing and whispering. I wasn't paying much attention until I heard her friend say, "I have this guy on Facebook. He's so sweet. We just started talking and he's already sending me money." My wife giggled. "Really? That sounds exciting." Something about the way she said it sent a chill down my spine. I wasn't the overly suspicious type, but something in her voice, curiosity, excitement, didn't sit right with me. A thought crossed my mind. If a random guy messaged her, would she take the bait? Just to clear my doubts, I decided to put her to the test. I created a fake Facebook account using pictures of a random, attractive guy. I kept it simple. No flashy lifestyle, no wealth, just an ordinary man with a smooth approach. Then I sent her a friend request. To my shock, she accepted almost immediately. At first, our chats were casual, harmless. But within days, she became invested. She flirted, laughed at every joke, and even started confiding in her new Facebook boyfriend. I didn't have to try hard, she fell effortlessly. That's when things took a darker turn. I noticed her phone habits changed at home. She started tilting her screen away from me, setting a new password, and excusing herself to the bedroom just to chat. Then came the money. She began sending airtime in small amounts, but last week she took it further. She told me, her husband, that she needed 15,000 naira to help her sick aunt. I gave it to her without hesitation. But that money? It never went to any sick relative. She sent it straight to her Facebook boyfriend. That wasn't even the worst part. The Facebook boyfriend asked her, "What about your husband?" She laughed. "He has no idea. He's a good man, but this is just for fun. No strings attached." She told him she was happy in her marriage. I clenched my fist as I read that message. My own wife speaking about me like I was some clueless fool. They talked about meeting in person, and when the conversation became intimate, the Facebook boyfriend made a request. "Don't sleep with your husband for at least a week before we meet. I want you fresh." And she agreed. Since then, she's been avoiding intimacy with me, making excuses every night. But she has no idea that the man she has been saving herself for is the same man she's been betraying. Thursday was approaching fast. She thought she was meeting her secret lover. In reality, she was walking straight into my trap. Thursday evening arrived. My wife was dressed in a tight red dress, her makeup flawless, her perfume strong. She stood in front of the mirror, admiring herself while I pretended not to notice. "I'm going out with my friends," she said casually. I forced a smile. "Have fun." The moment she walked out, I grabbed my car keys and followed her. She arrived at the restaurant exactly at 7 p.m. I watched from a distance as she sat at a table, anxiously checking her phone. Waiting for the man who had promised her excitement. She didn't have to wait long. I took a deep breath and walked up to her table. She looked up, expecting her lover, only to see me. Her face drained of color. What are you doing here?" I pulled out my phone and placed it in front of her. The chat messages, the money transfers, the lies, everything was on display. Her lips trembled. "I can explain." "Don't," I cut her off. "I've seen enough." Her eyes darted around, searching for a way out. But there was none. "This was just a mistake," she stammered. "It didn't mean anything." I let out a bitter laugh. "It meant enough for you to betray me, to lie to me, to send him my money, to plan a night with him while avoiding me." She reached for my hand, but I pulled away. "Please, I love you." "Love?" I shook my head. "You don't even respect me." She opened her mouth to argue, but I had already made my decision. I stood up, threw a few bills on the table for her drink, and turned to leave. "Go ahead. Have your date. You wanted him? You got him." I walked away without looking back. I didn't need to. I had already seen. She came home that night, her makeup ruined by tears, her dress wrinkled from a night of regret. She knelt at the doorway, sobbing, begging me to listen. "Please, baby. I made a mistake. I wasn't thinking." I stood there, arms crossed, watching her fall apart. The woman I had once loved, the woman I had trusted with my heart, was now just a stranger to me. "You knew exactly what you were doing," I said coldly. "You planned it, lied to me, used my money to entertain another man." She grabbed my hands, but I pulled away. "I love you," she whispered. I laughed bitterly. "No, you don't. You love the comfort I provide, the home, the security, but you don't love me." That night, I didn't let her into our bedroom. She slept on the couch, crying softly, but I had no sympathy left. My decision was made. The next morning I called both our parents. If she thought this could be swept under the rug, she was wrong. When they arrived, I sat them down and narrated everything. I told them about the Facebook chats, the money, the plans, the lies. My father, a man of few words, shook his head in disappointment. My mother wiped silent tears from her eyes. Her parents, embarrassed and ashamed, turned to their daughter. "Is this true?" her father asked, his voice thick with disbelief. She couldn't even look at him. She only nodded. I took a deep breath. I'm no longer interested in this marriage. She can no longer be my wife. Her mother gasped. "No, my son, please don't say that. Every marriage has problems." "This isn't just a problem," I interrupted. "It's betrayal. She disrespected me, disrespected our vows, and I can't look at her the same way." I turned to her parents. "I think it's best if she leaves with you today." She fell to her knees, wailing. "Please don't do this. I made a mistake. I'll do anything to fix it." But I was done. Her father sighed deeply and pulled her up. "Let's go," he said. As they walked out, she turned back one last time, her eyes filled with desperation. "Please don't give up on us," she whispered. I didn't respond. I just closed the door behind her. A week later, the house was quiet. Too quiet. My kids went for holidays to my sister's house, so there were no distractions. No voices echoing through the halls, no sounds of laughter. Just silence. Then my phone rang. It was my father. "You need to bring your wife back," he said firmly. I felt a lump in my throat. Why? Because marriage isn't just about love, it's about endurance. She made a terrible mistake, but can you truly let go of everything you built together? I sighed heavily. "Dad, she planned to sleep with another man. She sent him my money. She avoided me for a week because she wanted to beat fresh for him." "I know," he admitted, "and I understand your anger. But what will you tell your children when they come back? That you threw their mother away? That you gave up on your family?" I rubbed my temples. "I don't know if I can ever trust her again. That's something only time can answer. But forgiveness isn't weakness, my son. It's strength. Think carefully." After we hung up, I sat in silence. I imagined my children returning home asking, "Where's Mom?" What would I say? That she betrayed me? That she made a mistake? That I sent her away? My heart was heavy. Should I listen to my father? Try to rebuild? Or was it too late? This is a true life story. Your advice is needed. What would you do if you are in his place? Drop your opinion at the comment section. Kindly like this video and subscribe to my channel.